So I would like to welcome to the stage our next solo speaker, who's going to be talking about digital fashion in Roblox, Fortnite, and Zepeto. We've got Colin Brown from Dubit. Thank you. Come on up to the stage, Colin. Thanks, man.
Thank you very much.
There's your clicker, your timer.
Hey, guys. Hopefully, you all stay for the remainder of the talk. So Colin, British, actually live in Helsinki, so local resident. So specifically, we're going to be talking about fashion in the metaverse. Hold on. OK, so if you're not aware of Dubit, it's a British company, and this is our goal. So we want to be the largest retailer and creator of fashion in the metaverse. We still believe the metaverse is alive and well, with 400 million monthly active users. We don't think it's dead yet. And effectively, to be able to create and retail at that sort of scale is a bit of a task. We're going to dig into that today, and that's what we're talking about. OK, so majority of this talk is going to be about Roblox. I'll talk a little bit about Fortnite, a little bit about Zepeto, but they're all very much three different virtual worlds. We spend a lot of our time in Roblox, but we also do the other stuff as well. But Roblox is the most advanced in this area, which is why I'm going to spend more time on this area. So 1.8 billion avatar clothes is a lot of digital merch, right? Yeah, that's not insubstantial in terms of its base. And if you want to compare it, this is where it stands in terms of retail of brands that you know, right? So Gucci outsells Roblox and Fortnite this year. Probably next year, Roblox and Fortnite will outsell Gucci. Yeah, and they've already overtaken Ralph Lauren, Lacoste, Prada, and lots of other brands. So this is big business, right? And remember that Roblox and Fortnite do not have stores, right? They don't have stores in the real world. They have stores in the metaverse. OK, now, the problem with selling that much stuff is discovery is a big problem, right? Because you're going into a store that has 80 million avatar clothes, right? It makes Amazon discoverability problems look easy because you're focused on specific lines. There's a ton of merch. The vast majority of this merchandising is obviously created by Roblox itself at this point in time, but that is changing, and that has changed, and that's where we kind of pick up our story. But search and discovery is a huge problem when you have a store that big. It's different when you go into a normal physical retailer. What you see is what you get. Find something that generally fits with it that you were looking for, off you go. Yeah? Classic male fashion experience. OK. Right. So Dubit, what do we do? OK, so Dubit is a British company, about 140 staff, been involved in virtual worlds and working with brands for many, many years. Specifically, Roblox over the last few years. We are one of 7 Roblox partners in the world. There will be more coming, but we are one of 7, and we're the only British one to play with. Global partners that we work with Roblox. OK, now, over the last couple of years, we have built up a network of basically gaming partners inside Roblox, right? So either games that we run ourselves, experiences that we've created ourselves, or partners that we've worked with. You have a game, you have an experience, we will also include you with their network. Quick variation. A game is kind of semi-permanent, right? Designed to be played over a long period of time. An experience is basically like a pop-up shop. Yeah, so it's time limited. It's specifically there for a particular point in time. Now, some games kind of are a little bit like experiences. Has anyone heard of Walmart Land in Roblox? Hands up. Okay, Walmart Lamb, I found 2 people who'd heard of it. That's probably the 2 daily active users that they have. Like, no disrespect, sorry, if anybody loves Walmart, why would you create a permanent game in Roblox if your brand is Walmart? Like Walmart, I lived in the States for a couple of years. Walmart is not cool, it's cheap, right? It has massive range. Yeah, it has weird crocodile heads that your kids can wear while you're getting the shopping, right? That's what Walmart has. It's not a place that you want to hang out in Roblox. So again, what we recommend when we're working with brands is basically temporary pop-up experiences, time-limited, unless your brand is super cool. If your brand is super cool, do something permanent. If your brand is Walmart, don't. Okay? So over the last couple of years, we've built a network of about 100 games and experiences that we've either developed ourselves or worked with others inside Roblox. That gives us about 100 million users passing through those experiences each month. Okay? It's not small. Roblox is not a small place. It has large traffic volumes. 100 million users is good, right? But that also gives us some data to play with. Now, why have we created this network of 100 experiences, roughly 100 million users? We've done it so that we can bridge the gap between the brands and the consumer. Okay, so this isn't direct advertising. One, because direct advertising in Roblox is rubbish. That would be a British word. American word, trash. Finnish word, can't remember. Yeah, I can say moi and kiitos and kippis. That's probably my limit. Okay, now, it's just advertising in a 3D virtual world is like, I'm running through this amazing experience. Oh, look, a billboard. How exciting. I must give it my full attention while shooting, killing, jumping on, and doing stuff. It doesn't work like that. To engage a consumer with a brand, you have to do something more interesting. Yeah? So we have some interesting brands that we work with, NASCAR, UEFA, etc., and we bring those experiences into our game world. Right? Now, once we've created a bunch of experiences and also worked with a bunch of partners, we drive traffic across that network. We use portals, simple magic doors, to basically get people to move from A to B so that we can look at what we're doing. We're very careful on data, so again, we're not really collecting the data, but you can see where someone went from A to B to C to D. Did they enjoy that experience? Did they churn? Did they like that car experience? Did they not like that car experience? Did they buy digital merch? Did they wear it in game A, B, C, D? Did they take it off? There's a lot of data to be gained, and a lot of the user experience data to be gained without revealing the identity of the individual and without profiling individuals. Yeah? If you're familiar with Roblox's numbers, basically, it's large. So they have effectively a range of stats, but effectively 215 million monthly active users is a big number. Yeah? But actually more impressive is their 66.1 million daily active users. Now, don't get me wrong. When we're talking millions, it's really easy to be impressive. But 200 million is great. 66 daily is so much better. So much better. Because what that is those are people that are coming every day. They're your active consumers. They are very much hooked into your platform. And Roblox really has that YouTube of gaming thing going on, where people come in, they watch one thing, they try one thing, they jump into another, they call their friends, they message them, they join them in the other, they try something else. It's not Netflix. They're not watching a series. They're jumping between experiences. They may stick for a while, but they're jumping between experiences. So again, an interesting stat for most people who don't follow Roblox community is the one where we talk about 53% of Roblox users are over 13. Right? So either those of you with kids or those of you, you've kind of got used to Roblox being a very young person community, like 8 to 12-year-olds. It's like 8 to 12-year-old boys. But actually, that's slightly dated. Roblox is basically almost 50-50 gender, which, as we know in gaming, is so unusual it shouldn't, it's like a massive, oh my God, 50-50, right? Spot a girl on Fortnite, you've done super well, right? It's just so very unusual. So it's around the 50-50, and what Roblox has done now is they've aged up. So they've kept the bottom coming in, but they've kept the top staying. So you have now Roblox, really core demographic is between 8 and 24. Like really old. Yeah, says the 50-year-old guy. Okay, so again, Roblox is a fascinating community. Let's try and land this and find something else. Right, so digital merchandising they love, but one thing more than they like buying their avatar clothes is they like getting them for free. Right? Kids in Roblox like getting the free merch, like everybody else gets the free merch, and then you can see their consumer and engagement by how long they wear the merch. So what we've focused on is we've done a lot of user-generated content giveaways, right? Plus, we've done a lot with branded items. Okay, so that means that we've created something, right? And we've also put it alongside a branded item, and we've then seen how it compares the UGC item versus the branded item. Now, is anyone familiar with the store Decathlon? Does that ring any bells? Okay, some people. Okay, French store, basically produce all their own physical clothes, but also bring in the brands and then compare. And they sell like the Adidas shirt for like 25 euros, and they sell the Decathlon shirt for like 5 euros. Yeah, so the branded makes their stuff look really good, price-wise. Yeah, but it also gives them comparisons of what's really selling versus what they have. Yeah, so mixing the brand plus the user-generated content is a very, very interesting way of looking at what's selling within Roblox. And let's just be clear at the moment, I mentioned briefly earlier, Roblox has shifted from everything being created in terms of digital merchandising by them to now a small number of trusted creators creating merch, and then at some point we hit the Oprah moment and everybody's a creator. Yeah? So that's 66 million daily active users, as long as they're an authorized account, et cetera, been on the platform for a while, which would still only cut it down to like 40 million, a mere 40 million, they could all create and place in the store. The challenge with creating and placing in the store is you end up with those 80 million items in the store, which is why we've ended up going and putting stores in individual games. So almost replicating the model that we are used to in retail. You wouldn't go to one great big retailer with 80 million items and try and shop, right? That would kill most people, right? Even the die-hard shopaholic would struggle with that, but you would be comfortable going to a smaller retail. So we've replicated that model here. The other model that we've replicated, anyone familiar with the brand Shein? Okay. And anybody who's not familiar with Shein, you're either male or too old. Okay, so Shein, just to give you an example, so Shein is a Chinese company that doesn't sell in China. So they basically sell outside China. They are basically the super fast fashion company. Yeah, so fast fashion was very much pioneered by Gap and Zara. Then effectively ultra-fast fashion came forward with a few UK companies, Boohoo and others, and Shein have just done it better than anyone else. Right? So the ingredients here are very important, and the reason I'm spending a bit of time on that is, again, if you're wanting to develop digital merchandising at the scale of Gucci and Prada and Ralph Lauren, you have to also look at what's the lessons to be learned within the fashion industry. So this is Shein's business model, if you're familiar with it. It's a classic flywheel. Yeah? So effectively, it starts with kind of real-time data analytics, real-time optimization, vertically integrated supply, lowest price, superior user experience, word-of-mouth referrals, WOM, and back to aggressive user acquisition, right? Shein has been the most popular brand on TikTok since TikTok basically invented, right? It's the #1 by a long way, influencer-based marketing. The critical element here is very much around spotting trends, small batch sizes, instant deployment, analyze the data, spot more trends, small batch sizes, et cetera, et cetera. This is what Shein does in real time. What they managed to achieve was a vertical integration into the Chinese manufacturing base. So they went into low-tech warehouses where clothing was produced, and they gave them the operating system. They gave them literally the software in which they could see how much capacity that individual warehouse has. Now, that doesn't exist in the metaverse, so it's much easier to build, but it's effectively the same model, right? You need to be able to look into a game, see what cool merch an individual creator has created, potentially replicate that merch or create something similar, put it in your store, drive eyeballs to it, look at longevity. It's the same model. Yeah? It's just done within Roblox. It's done within that confines. And it's done at massive scale. OK, so that was a little bit of an overview. I'm going to leave some time for questions. So again, if you're not familiar with Roblox, I would encourage you to strongly lean into it. Fortnite and Epic Games, Unreal Engine for Fortnite, is only a bit of a step behind. Yeah? So discoverability is much harder there because Epic hasn't really built the tools out and the front end to do discoverability well, because it's still very much transitioning from Fortnite to individual creators utilizing the Unreal Engine to create Fortnite-like experiences. And Zepeto, how many people have heard of Zepeto? Cool, I think one. So Zepeto is basically coming from Southeast Asia. It's very much coming out of that kind of K-pop school, right? It's coming from more of a social media presence, but coming more into being a gaming community. And it's definitely at the moment probably the third largest community that we look at, right? So we've led on Roblox because the infrastructure and the numbers there. We've started a lot of work in Fortnite, and we've started work in Zepeto, but they're further behind. But it would be effectively the same model. Create a network, spot trends, distribute via the network, catch the data, spot trends, distribute by the network, and utilize it for brand awareness, brand engagement, and monetization process. And I would argue that you could monetize now better utilizing and selling digital merch than you could in terms of any of the in-game Robux currencies and a multiple other. Merchandising is, well, look at who you're competing with. If you can sell more stuff than Ralph Lauren, you're doing quite well in the business world, right? OK, and a couple of funny quotes. Again, the metaverse as a term has come out of fashion. This is a lovely quote from Tim Sweeney, who is the founder of Fortnite, and basically going, let's all have a wake for the metaverse because effectively it's over. Well, apart from the 400 million monthly active users that occupy it. And then this says one of my favorites, which hopefully you can read, which is, and we ignored it, and therefore it went away. Obviously, the whole trends in AI, Gen AI, large language model, stable diffusion, et cetera, separate talk, that just powers all of this. Yeah? Cool. That was the end of there. Happy to take questions in my remaining 1.5 minutes.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much. What a great talk. Thank you, Colin. Amazing. And I mean, huge numbers there. And the graph comparing the sales of digital merchandise with digital clothing with the big brands that we're all familiar with. Astonishing. We've got time for a couple of questions, probably. Is there anyone? Oh, sorry, I can see with the mic.
Got one question. So is there some kind of digital piracy or bootlegging going on in this kind of digital stores? I would imagine somebody being quite easily able to replicate these things being sold. Like, how do you have the prestige on these items?
You don't, really. So obviously, if you're utilizing branded clothing, so Adidas I mentioned earlier, then they can go in and protect their brand. Yeah? And there is now, Roblox are building mechanisms for them to report kind of brand theft. In some instances, they don't want to do that. Same as what happened with Peppa Pig in China. Sometimes the big brands don't actually want to shut down the black market side because actually it just raises awareness. But those mechanisms are there. The challenge is discoverability. If you're in a store of 80 million assets, yeah, what is it? The best place to find a dead body is the second page of Google, because nobody looks. Sure.
Yeah, we'll take one more question.
So you shared that graph with Roblox and Fortnite versus conventional stores and brands. Is the data on the sales only on digital clothes, or do they, for example, Roblox has in-game items or in-game perks? Are they included in that data, or do you have?
Oh, so when I did the Ralph Lauren Gucci question, yeah, no, that was specifically skins. So that was specifically digital merch. It wasn't related to in-game currency or boosts or any of the other stuff, which actually then shows you the real scale of what we're talking about, right? Yeah, and as I said, that's today. Like next year, that graph will be different because Roblox and Fortnite, put them together, they will be ahead of Gucci. Right? And this is where you saw this in, if you added the TV industry and the movie industry together, gaming was smaller. And then gaming got bigger. And now gaming is twice the size of TV and movie put together. And the same thing plays out here. And when you solve the problem of interoperability, the ability to take the shirt and wear it in different places, it goes up another layer. Right? So you 2x that graph. Which is why I would encourage anybody, if they're in this space, seriously lean into Roblox's community, because it's only just starting to monetize, and it's only just getting bigger.
Amazing. But we're out of time. Another round of applause for Colin. That was great. Really enlightening. Appreciate that. Thank you. And